These to me are perfect smelling fragrances that you need to overspray if you want them to perform. This means that this video is going to be fragrances that we are not going to care too much about performance. Some people actually don't care about performance and they want really nice smelling fragrances. I would say these fragrances are perfect smelling, as long as you don't mind having to reapply halfway through the day. A lot of people actually don't mind going to work or the office and having a fragrance that they enjoy in their drawer and just reapplying halfway through the day and re-experiencing the opening and getting their longevity refreshed. When you look at websites like Fragrantica for weak performing fragrances like La Nuit de l'Homme or the one by D&G, you'll see that actually they have really high ratings still, which means that not always do people care that much about performance. I always have that criteria in this channel where you get a 10 out of 10 if you perform well, which, you know, for this video I'm going to kind of exclude. So to me, these are 10 out of 10s if you exclude the performance. Let's begin the video. And for context, guys, I'm a sissy sprayer, so when I mention the number of sprays I'm going to say for these fragrances, bear in mind I usually go 4 sprays for most fragrances I apply. Number 1 is Yves Saint Laurent's L'Homme, the original. That's right. You thought I was going to say La Nuit de l'Homme, but no, I'm saying L'Homme, the original fragrance. I think this came out a few years before the original La Nuit de l'Homme, so I think this came out in 2007. It's a classic from YSL, one of the best fragrances that I've ever smelled. I got a sample of this recently. I'm not sure why I got a sample, but it's one of those fragrances that, you know, once... So I'm not sure if I have something applied here, but it's one of those fragrances, once you reapply it, you just fall in love with it every single time. This is not a great performing fragrance. It's 4 hours longevity, but you can go 8 sprays easy with this fragrance. That's what I would recommend, and you'll get such a beautiful, clean, bright, crisp scent that is so easy to love. We're going into spring and summer, easy fragrance for this season, and I think it just smells professional, a little bit mature, but really sexy, handsome. This is a really handsome fragrance, actually. If you want to wear like a really nice, safe fragrance during a daytime date, actually, I say the original L'Homme is the one to do it. And then obviously La Nuit de l'Homme is for the nighttime. And I think this is just one of the best fragrances ever made. Yeah, over-apply, fine, but actually I still think this is easily a fragrance worth buying. Actually, it might be a really safe blind buy. I'm really glad I actually finally got a bottle of it. Yeah, it's warm, ambery, woody, clean, ginger. Really handsome, really inviting. I'm just smelling it in the air right now. It's such a sexy fragrance, incredibly, incredibly attractive. Versace Pour Homme. This is an Alberto Marias classic. It smells aquatic, it smells musky, sharp, clean, citrusy, neroli in here. It is a classical summertime scent that I get around 6 hours. It's not a bad performer. I think it's an average performer, but it doesn't project massively, and it's so inoffensive. You can easily overspray this. Like, I go 4 sprays usually most fragrances. With this, I can go 6 sprays, but you can go maybe 8 sprays if you want as well, or maybe 10 sprays. It's not really an offensive fragrance ever, but it just works. It's just very nice, handsome, masculine. If you want a safe, masculine, classical, everyday scent that's bright and invigorating, then go for Versace Pour Homme. 32% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys want to see our channel grow, to really help us out, click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you. Mugler's Cologne Come Together. Another Alberto Marias classic. He said that this fragrance actually inspired him to be made based on a luxurious green soap that he experienced in Morocco. So that's kind of the fragrance in a nutshell. It's green, soapy, neroli. Very easy to wear, very much unisex. It just smells clean and easy to love, crisp and invigorating and soapy. You can go 20 sprays of this. This is not a fragrance you can really ever overspray, and reapply throughout the day. It creates the most beautiful sillage. Clean and attractive. Anyone can rock this, I think, this fragrance, which is kind of magical and beautiful. A lot of people like to have fragrances that makes them smell soapy, clean. They just want something that just, you know, cleans them up, freshens them up. This is the kind of the fragrance that will do that for you. I get maybe 3 to 4 hours of this fragrance with a medium projection. It still projects nicely, so if you don't mind reapplying, this could be an incredible signature throughout the day, which is kind of like a great thing about taking fragrances with you to your workplace or wherever you're going. You can actually have, you know, fragrances you might absolutely love the scent of, you're just disappointed by the performance. You can have that amazing sillage, that amazing scent trail all day long, which is incredible. The lighter fragrances are usually really incredible. You know, if you want better performance, you usually have to make them heavier or sweeter. Sometimes that ruins the scent DNA. So having fragrances like this, which you can just reapply, is really beneficial. So I think, you know, try this tactic out, guys. Creed Aventus. Yes, this is a controversial one. I know I like to hate on this fragrance, guys. Creed Aventus really depends on which batch you have. My batch is weak. and water it down, which is really disappointing. And I get like 4 to 6 hours. I think the scent itself is still beautiful. I still think it has some nice naturals in here. I think, you know, if it was, let's say, if it was directly compared to its clones, it still smells more expensive, but whether or not it's worth its price is where it gets controversial. However, some people love the original Creed Aventus so much, they don't mind actually splashing out on the original bottle. And this is the fragrance, again, that's so crisp, clean, invigorating, bright, and musky ambergris and pineapple. It's really attractive that actually I think you can easily just reapply Creed Aventus if it wears off on you too easily. I still think it's a really inoffensive scent that people will love. It's nice to have that sillage reapplied and reboosted throughout the day. So I think, yeah, this could be a fragrance that is perfect in its smell, just a little bit disappointing in its performance. It doesn't smell as rich as it used to either, but hey, it's still a great scent, just purely scent-wise. And also in this list, I'll include Aventus Cologne. I think that fragrance smells great. It's a more bright, citrus-focused version of Aventus, less focused on the pineapple and the heavy woods there. I think it's a great scent, a great summer scent, really invigorating, inoffensive again. So try that in store, I would say, and see if you want to actually buy that for the summertime. Guerlain's Homme Eau de Parfum. This is not a bad performer. Again, I'll say this is an average performer, maybe 6 hours, but you'd usually wear something like this as your daily signature scent, your workhorse fragrance. And with a fragrance like this, you kind of wanted to carry on performing, really becoming your signature smell, something that'll last on you all day. So yeah, over apply and reapply if you have to. I think the scent is beautiful. It's like a musky, clean, a mint mojito fragrance, and I think the opening is the best part of this fragrance, that minty freshness. It's very cool, invigorating and crisp. It's a very clean and elegant scent. It's really Guerlain in a bottle. Dolce&Gabbana is the one Eau de Parfum. Of course, this had to be on the list. I get good performance with this. I get maybe 6 hours. I don't mind applying maybe 6 sprays and I'd be happy with that, especially if I'm wearing this on a date. But if you really want this to go with you all day long, then just reapply, of course. I think this is a fragrance you can over apply as well because it just doesn't ever smell offensive. It doesn't go too loud. It's a beautiful balance. They use a nice amount of naturals. Again, this is a perfect example where if they went to focus on the performance, they might make it ruined by the synthetics they could use to do that. So I actually like the fact that the one as a DNA is natural, balanced, really easy to like, really classically handsome and masculine. I think this is a timeless classic because of that, because they focus more on the naturals. It will never be outdated in my opinion, as far as I can tell. Chanel's Allure Homme Edition Blanche. As far as the summer scent goes, this is perfection. You can't beat this. This is niche in a designer packaging. This is clean, crisp, woody, lavender, lemon with a hint of smoothness and the hint of gourmand aspects in here with the vanilla, making this lemon meringue pie effect that people refer this fragrance to. And I think it is there, but it's just a beautifully blended scent overall. It's one of the best lemon fragrances ever made. I think if you have your interest piqued by the note of lemon at all, you have to experience this. It might be the best lemon fragrance ever made. I get 6 hours longevity. I could go 6 sprays with this, which is overspraying for me for a sissy sprayer like myself, but you can go really heavy on the trigger. It's inoffensive and then reapply throughout the day as well. You'll get the best summer scent out there. Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme. Okay, so we had YSL's L'Homme, the original. La Nuit de l'Homme also has to be on here. I think both fragrances got heavily reformulated. They're not as rich as they used to be. Get the Blue Electric if you can, so that fragrance you can actually over apply and reapply as well, and you can also work with that because that doesn't smell offensive, it just smells really sexy and handsome. La Nuit de l'Homme is the same thing. It's very hard to make this smell offensive. It's just a beautiful fragrance you can kind of go heavy on the trigger with. And I think, again, if you just keep reapplying this, you get that beautiful opening. It makes you smell really handsome, warm, cardamom-based perfumery here. It's one of the sexiest notes in perfumery. If you want like that evening-esque romantic scent profile, cardamom perfumery does it for you. This is a great introduction into the notes of cardamom. Very handsome date night fragrance. And then I'll finish off this video with a sort of honorable mention. I'll just say CH Men, the original. I saw this fragrance when I went to Portugal recently. I think in some countries it's still an easy fragrance to find. I'm not sure if it's discontinued. I think it is discontinued. I think some countries are really struggling to find it now. If you can get your hands on it, get it. It's a fantastic scent. It is clean, sugary, woody perfumery with a hint of greenness in here as well. Really interesting, sexy leather scent as well. So it's like leather, woody, sugary, hint of greenness, incredibly sexy. It's sort of like they took CH2 onto Men NYC, that crisp and clean greenness it has there, and made it sweeter, more handsome, more sexy with the leather in here, and more sweet. So I think CH Men is a classic. It's a great scent. I've got maybe 4 to 6 hours, but you can over apply that. It's one of the best sillages you'll ever smell. I wish I should grab that bottle when I was in Portugal. I'm really annoyed. I really want this fragrance. Hopefully I'll find it in the UK at some point. And that concludes this video, guys. What are your thoughts on these 10 fragrances that I mentioned today. What are your thoughts on reapplying fragrances? Are you annoyed about that? You have to do that with some sense. Again, some people really still highly praise and rate some of these weak performing fragrances. Do you think, you know, sometimes it doesn't really matter too much about the performance, it's the scent that matters? As long as you can get at least maybe 3 to 4 hours, you can just reapply. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our previous video on how to make your fragrances last longer. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.